Well, hello, everybody. My name is Sarah, and this is Pearls of Wisdom with Carnivore, Carnivish, and Keto. And here we are today. We are in a very humid day. I've got a case of the frizzies. Oh, oi, what am I gonna do? Well, it's how it goes. It's summer. The humidity is high. And I like it like that. But now I can see why. Now another inch, I can put it up, right? Any of you women that have long hair, you know what I'm talking about. So I just got done watching Pharmacy, which is with an F. It's Dr. Mark Hyman and Mark Sisson. And Mark Hyman just turned 60 and Mark Sisson is 66. And if you want to see a reason to take care of yourself, Mark Sisson is your guy. He is all about longevity. He's, as some of you have heard me say along the way, he's just this decent sort of guy. I think he'd have 10 minutes for me if I asked him. Just like anybody, he just seems like a regular guy. He is genuine. His products were/are fabulous. And even though he sold the company, his staff stayed with them, and there were no changes made to products. So I love all of that he's done. But he's 66, and he has, of course, he works out a whole lot more than I do, especially now. But he just has a way of his life at 66 that I think a lot of us should listen to if we're definitely over 60, we're older. And so I am going to put that link below. He talked about he came to California to visit his daughter or something like that, and somebody made lasagna, and he had two slices of that, and then somebody made his favorite blueberry pie, and he had a piece of that, and his consequences were, of course, in existence. So when he went to bed, he woke up at like 2 in the morning and felt a little discomfort by all of it, but he jumped right back into his keto food plan the next day. So he wasn't going to sit there and say, I'm not eating lasagna and I'm not eating blueberry pie that, are very special, made by my family members and stuff like that. And I just love that sort of thing. He didn't lament about it. He's not whining about it. He's not set off on a binge. Now, I have a binge, a carb addiction, a sugar carb addiction that could kick in. So I would have to be very careful about the sweets and the portions that I chose if I was him. But he did it. And, not a big deal. He's in it for life. He's 66. And he had it and he enjoyed it, and that's that. Life is not about always saying, no, no. He said, what was I going to do? Say that to my family? I can't have that, and I can't have that, and I can't, be petty Betty or spoil sport or whatever we'd apply. So he's always got a good book or two out, and Dr. Hyman recommended it. And Dr. Hyman every now and then has good books out too. I don't mean that they aren't good. I just mean that he's not as frequent an author as Mark Sisson is. So I thoroughly enjoyed the interview. It's a hot and steamy afternoon, so I could do that in my house and just enjoy hearing these two gentlemen, 60 and 66, talk about food and how they do it, and his thoughts on cholesterol and all the other markers. He believes that cholesterol readings are a myth, that they focus too much on that. It's not about us. It's about getting that med into you. So anyway, give it a watch. It's just, you come out of it and you just look at him and you just say, he's just really a nice guy, a fine specimen of working out a little bit each day. He changed as the decades went on with certain injuries and getting older. And, I just like that. He's always been active. I think he started at something like 14 with being active. So I like all of that. And, sometimes when I listen to men that are like heavy lifters and all that, I have nothing in common with them. Nothing, So when they're having 2,500 calories and they're having half of that brick of that, whatever that nice guy makes, where you buy the brick and you eat it pre-workout or something like that, and do so many deadlifts. And, he talked about that. He talked about, he sprints once a week. I'm not sure if he runs anymore, but he does do the sprinting. He says, I lift heavy things, but not all the time. So anyway, it's just worthy of an hour of your time to reaffirm your commitment to what your program is that works for you. I liked it. I don't think I think he's keto, not carnivore. He's probably carnivish with a heavy influence on meat. But, a lot of us do it that way. A lot of us have a lot, 95% carnivore and with animal products. And then every now and then we have a little something that is planned. I don't mean a treat with sugar or those lasagna noodles, but, something that's rare and appropriate. I couldn't think of the phrase a few videos ago from when I was reading about him in his book on how he lost 100 pounds. Of course, he did it plant-based, the exact opposite of most of us. But, he had his rare and appropriate moments, and it worked for him. And so, I think he's kept it off. We do what we do. Life is not, a prison of no thank you, I don't eat that way anymore. For some people, they can manage it. For others, they have to be very mindful of what their addictions are, what their triggers are. A friend of mine went to a Mexican restaurant, and, those chips and salsa, they obviously in our state that has their restaurants open. We don't. We're in Massachusetts. We're safe. And so, that would be a deadly trigger for me. Maybe I shouldn't have even said that, that combo out loud. But for some of us, it's, I can't go near there. Or, you guys go, I've looked at the menu online, I'll meet you 10 minutes after you order. And, they can throw the order in along with yours, but I can't go there for that appetizer, right? A lot of us know that there's, there's a rare and appropriate treat that we can have, and then there's another one that's just going to flip that switch of the addiction, and the whole meal is just a blur of how much you can fit in. No, thank you. I've binged many, many times. I would describe myself as an like a healthy, if there is such a thing, overeater of a lot of the good foods, but then a lot of the regulars. Like when I went to a restaurant, I did soup to nuts. I did, alcohol and a coffee after the meal. I did a dessert. I did breads. I did, the carby baked potato. I did all the stuff. And some of it was very good. Like I remember going to places and having double sides of broccoli before broccoli turned on me. But we have these things that happen. So I hope that you're being safe. I hope you're being careful. 'Tis the season to party like a rock star, and go to all these graduations and cookouts and picnics and barbecues and all that kind of stuff. And we could easily get in trouble. And it doesn't show up like we pig out and gain 3 pounds and in 2 days it's gone. That might have happened at 30, but it's not happening in my life. And you have to be careful, because if you start having back-to-back every weekend is another reason to celebrate, you could be in trouble, and you're going to have to have your game planned, how you're going to do this. Don't be naive. Don't be in denial. If you eat too much, you're going to gain. You're not going to feel good. You're going to test your body. You might even, leave being fat adapted and going back to being sugar adapted. You have to be very, very mindful. Spring, summer, fall are vigilant times, at least for me. Winter, I'm fine. Give me a pot roast. I can sit at home. I think the worst thing that could happen is that I had a vegetable with the pot roast, but I don't. I haven't. But, that's like how, dangerous it gets. But in the summer, oh my God, being hot, having something that refreshes you, being around people that make favorite dishes and desserts and things like that, that's a huge trigger. I have a friend that if I saw her today, it'd be like, where are we going to go for lunch? Where are we going to go for dinner? What are we going to have? Planning the next meal while sitting at the restaurant eating that meal. That's the kind of food addict I am. And it's all under wraps for now, but it could easily be triggered and come out. Hi, here I am. I'm your food addict. I'm your sugar addict. And you're with your sugar carb friend. Let's get bad. No, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to see it happen to you either. It's just a tough time. You got to have your game plan. That's the whole N=1. What can I say? We do it and we try to be careful. And I'm rooting for you. You can always comment below, ask me for help, whatever. But we need to take care of ourselves and we need to not pretend because it's there. It's warm out. And this is the dangerous time for people like me. I will see you the next time. Thanks so much for watching. I can't do this without you and I don't plan on it. Bye-bye for now.